My lips are so dry. Hello and welcome back, you guys. Thanks for coming back. Never know what to say. It's been a while since I've filmed, so this is awkward. As you guys watch this today, I'm actually in Mexico, but I wanted to preemptively film this just so you had some content to watch while I am away. As I had mentioned in my last video, starting in November, our lives got quite crazy and has stayed crazy. And that had really contributed to me not having put out a video in like 2 months. The reason why our lives got really crazy is on Brock's birthday, November 17th, we actually found out that I am pregnant. Yeah, it was technically a planned pregnancy, but it was still a little bit of a surprise nonetheless. In late October, just after my birthday, we had kind of decided to stop kind of using any kind of birth control. We were just going to sit back and see what happens, let nature basically kind of take its course. We were expecting like 3 to 6 months at least. And just a few weeks later, I took a pregnancy test and it was a big fat positive. We are both absolutely thrilled to be starting this new chapter in our lives. As many of you may know, I have been wanting to become a mother for quite some time, so it is very exciting to be starting this new journey in our lives. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of all of that, I did want to give a bit of a channel update for all of you, because obviously things are going to change. Yes, I will still be creating content. That is not going to change, but I am going to have to pull back on the frequency in which I upload my content. Right now, I'm kind of aiming for 2 videos a month. Not only am I pregnant and about to have a tiny human in my life, but I'm also working an extra day a week at my normal job. So that is taking a lot of time out of my schedule. So I just don't have the time right now to create content that I'm really proud of. And I would much, much rather put out good quality content less frequently than like crappy content more frequently. Not to mention going forward, like there's so many appointments that I need to go to right now. And we're traveling and there's a lot going on right now. So I'm gonna do my best to try to keep up with that 2 video a month target for myself. But I'm also gonna be very generous with myself. And if I don't take the time to really take care of myself, then I know for sure I can't produce these videos and I can't do all these things that I love, and I really want to keep that going. So because of all this, there will also be a slight shift in the kind of content of my videos themselves. I'm still doing sewing. Sewing is a huge part of my life. That's not going anywhere. Same with thrifting. Like, I love thrifting. You're still going to see all of that. But I'm also going to be incorporating a lot more like pregnancy updates and kind of more vlog style videos on my journey as I enter motherhood and how all of that's going for me. This is all new territory for me. For anybody who is expecting, it is a big lifestyle change. I am inherently going to change who I am because of this. It's completely life-changing. And I think it's really cool that with something like a YouTube platform, I can visually record that process and that evolution so that later I can look back and actually watch myself become the person I will become, if that makes sense. And I think that's super cool and valuable. So I really want to share that with you guys as well. So I hope that at least some of you are interested in that kind of content, because I can't wait to take you with me on this ride. Okay, but now more into the fact that there is a tiny human being growing inside of me. First off, if you are ever planning on conceiving a child and sharing that with your families, record their reactions. I did not. I didn't record anybody's reaction. And although like, I don't think it'll be one of those things where I look back on in 50 years time and like, I'll still like beat myself up for it or anything like that. But I do wish that I had that. I think that would have been really cool. So pro tip number 1, you know, my parents reacted so great. So did Brock's parents, but especially Brock. his reaction was just so sweet and so uniquely him. It was awesome. So basically, on his birthday, I was expected to get my period that day. And I had gotten some, mild like pre-period cramps or so, I thought, for the few days leading up to that. So I really was expecting to get my period any day now. I really didn't think that I was pregnant, but I just had this thought of like, how funny would that be if on my birthday we decided to like maybe kind of somewhat start trying, and on his birthday we found out. Again, I really did not think that I was actually pregnant. It was just kind of one of those like, haha, gonna take a pregnancy test just for like shits and gigs right now. And then I was floored because it was undeniably positive. It had only been a few weeks since I was ovulating. So it was a bit of a shock. So basically what I did is I wrapped the pregnancy test in a little bit of wrapping paper, and I sat it on the table for him to find when he arrived home. And when he got home, he picked it up and he was like, "Oh, did you buy me a pen?" But then he unwrapped it and it clicked for him, and he just let out this giant ha. And he just looked at me and said, "Did I get you pregnant on the first try?" Later, he shared with me that there was no doubt in his mind that he was potent and could knock me up on the first try. So, so I think now he's just kind of running with it and just using it as bragging rights. So, but in all honesty, like, I could not wish for a more supportive and amazing partner through all of this. He has come to all of my appointments with me so far, and he's already reading the books and everything. Right now, as you guys are watching this, I am 13 weeks pregnant, but as I am filming it, I'm only 11. And let me tell you, the fact that my first trimester is already like almost over is crazy. Like, this whole thing went by so fast. The fact that like most women, myself included, like I didn't even find out until I was 4 weeks pregnant. And that's normal. So like there's 4 weeks, that's a month. That's a month of my pregnancy that I just like didn't know about. But overall, I am feeling very good. Some women might hate to hear this, but I have experienced absolutely no morning sickness or nausea. So I'm very thankful for that. Apparently my mom was the same and had none of that. But that doesn't mean it's come without immediate symptoms, which I was very surprised about. Like, I sleep horribly now at night, but I nap all the time, and I've never been a napper. Like, I usually can never nap during the day, and now you'd like put me down for 5 minutes and I'm just like, out, done. Like, that's it. And like the cravings have already gotten me. Like, I've always loved pickles, but I'm insatiable when it comes to pickles right now. And like weird things like tuna salad. Like, I've always been very like cheese. I've always loved cheese. So I really always thought that when I got pregnant, that would be amplified, and all I'd want to eat is like pizza and ice cream and like all those like really heavy dairy things. And I really don't give a crap about cheese right now. I am shocked. Don't care. Tuna salad though, I'm just like all over, which is so weird. I've never like loved tuna salad, and it's all I want to eat right now. But like when you're pregnant, you can't eat too much tuna. So it's a mess. It's so weird. And then like little things like I am congested whenever I lie down. Fine when I'm standing, but not when I'm lying down. Like, it's so hard to breathe at night. It's really uncomfortable. It's kind of like a perma cold, and I hate it. I hate it so much. And we did have a bit of a scare early on. Around 7 weeks, I was suddenly spotting, and it absolutely terrified me. There were a few mornings where I couldn't even really get out of bed during that. I've always had a bit of anxiety, like growing up and things like that, but it is like when you are pregnant, like every little thing like sets off my anxiety now, and it's been really challenging to work in my kind of like self-care tools and manage that. Don't worry, we ended up going for an ultrasound to double check everything. Baby's fine, strong heartbeat. It didn't look like there were any complications or issues. And the ultrasound tech said that basically like Some spotting is just kind of normal and that's just what happens. It could be like implantation bleeding or something like that. But because all the vitals looked good, take it easy. And the complete 180 that my emotions did that day, I have never been on that big of an emotional roller coaster. To be crippled with anxiety and depression in the morning, to just being like, wee, like elated, like absolutely like over the top joyous just hours later, and then just that was it. Like that was just like this huge turn, and then I've been good. Like it was just super weird to go through. Yeah, it's been odd. It's been very interesting. But yeah, very thankful that, you know, everything worked out all right and I've been feeling good and there's been no issues since then. We told most of our family around Christmas, which was really fun. I had sent out a few cards to some people with the picture of the ultrasound inside as a bit of a surprise. So that was super fun. Especially Brock's mom. She like opened this card and it was just like this big like smile. Like it was so wonderful. And I think a moment I'll remember pretty much for the rest of my life. Sorry. Sometimes burps make my gag reflex go. Being pregnant, you guys, is great. Do it. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm in Mexico right now, which I'm very thankful that we were able to plan this trip. But as you might expect, I am pregnant and we are still in a global pandemic. So this trip obviously looks a lot different than your normal leisurely holiday, right? We've had to take a lot of extra precautionary steps to make sure that we are all doing the absolute safest thing while we travel. But ultimately, we still decided to go for a couple of reasons. Basically, this is my last chance to enjoy a trip before I become a parent. As I get farther along into my pregnancy, I will not be able to travel too far away from my doctor. So this was kind of our last chance. Not to mention, we got married last year and we had to put our amazing planned 3-week trip to Japan on hold for the foreseeable future. So this is kind of like our mini honeymoon before kids arrive and before we become parents and our lives and our focus shifts towards that. Although we've been together since 2017, Brock and I have never taken an international trip together. Japan was supposed to be the big one that we were saving up for, and then the pandemic hit and just knocked kind of all of those plans out the window for now. So I just kind of felt that, you know, leaving my house right now and walking to my little corner store, that's a risk. Like everything we do these days when it comes to COVID is a risk. I feel like I've taken enough precautionary steps that the risk of going to Mexico is quite low. And I feel comfortable enough going. You know, I'm fully vaccinated. We will be absolutely masking everywhere, face shields. We won't be going out a lot. We're not in a resort. We're in little private condos where only we are going in and out of. So I kind of figured I could be just as antisocial down there as I am here. And this way I get my one last hurrah before my entire life shifts towards another human being. But other than that, I just want to say that I am so glad that you guys are going to come on this journey with me. If you have any questions, like put them in the comments. I will do my best to answer all of them. And I can't wait to put out more videos on this kind of content for you guys. If you have anything specific that you would like to see from my videos going forward that have more of like a pregnancy baby focus, let me know. Like, let's do this together. Let's go on this journey together. I can't wait to learn and blossom and you know, like all these like brand new skills that I'm gonna have to learn. So I'm very excited. I'm not sure exactly when my next video will be up. We don't get back from Mexico until February 2nd. So I'm assuming probably somewhere around mid-February once I've been home for a little while and can, you know, get my crap together and get something made up and nice to you guys. Stay safe, guys. I love you. Thank you for being here. You're awesome. And I will see you guys in February, I guess. Bye. Björn. You will not fit in the box. It's 2 inches wide. As I had mentioned, no, you're not supposed to smell it. You're supposed to run away. We
1 eternity later.